Good timing.
Whoa.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And this is Greg and Sheila Fawson, our producers. We got Stephan Anthony, who is doing our prayers and our affirmations. And we have the wonderful Susan Clark. Sorry, Susan. Just went blank. Who's our musical inspiration for today. So let's get started with an invocation. If you would, just close your eyes and join me by centering yourself, turning within to that sacred place of the Most High, where God dwells in each and every one of us. For truly there is only the one power, one presence, one infinite, eternal creator. And it is here, it is now, it is as all of us. And so I bless this day, giving thanks for the sunshine and the blue skies and the people being able to go out and be amongst each other. So very thankful for so much good in our lives. So grateful for all those who have joined us today, knowing right where you are, the presence of God is. I recognize it, I embrace it, and I bless it. And so with a deep sense of absolute gratitude, I now accept this word as complete and fulfilled by releasing, letting go, allowing it to be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is.
All right, let's get started with a Susan Clark song. Hi, Susan. You're on mute.
All right.
There we go.
Good morning. So happy to be here, and it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a song by Karen Drucker. This is a little bit of a chant. I'm sure some of you know it, so please join in. I'm going to repeat each stanza twice. This is called Blessing to the World. Here we go. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, we are the heart, we are the hands. I am the heart, I am the hands, I'm a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful. I love that song so much.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's giving me chills.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that thing behind you.
Oh, yes, yeah. My neighbor gave that to me. She didn't like it. It's kind of a little tapestry with fish on it going different directions.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. And the colors are perfect.
Yeah.
tell her it was complimented on
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah.
So
Thank
we're
you,
going to make some announcements, and we'll be back to you for another song.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. So, like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro. Check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. Go to contact us and add yourself to the email list to get our announcements of the things that we're doing and the links and all of that. Go to the prayer request and you can add yourself to our prayer list for the week and also see this week's prayers and affirmations and a bunch of others as well.
Yeah.
So today's title is One of Many Forms. You already met our guest artist, Susan Clark. And today our reading is from 365 Nirvana Here and Now, Living Every Moment in Enlightenment. And it's edited and added to and commented on by Josh Barron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm done. And so we're ready for affirmations.
Stephan.
Good morning.
Good morning. Before I do the affirmations, I just wanted to mention that my mom is up in Minnesota joining us through the stream, and today's her birthday. So
Yay.
I just want to say I love you and I miss you, and happy birthday, Ma.
Happy birthday, Kathy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, have many, many more, and have a wonderful day. We love you.
We do.
Yes, we do.
And with that, here are this week's affirmations. I emanate peace and love in all that I do. Here, now, and always, I experience the fulfillment of my life's vision. God's wisdom guides my every moment. My mind, body, and soul are in complete alignment with the universe. All my thoughts and words reflect my inner harmony. I live out my fullest purpose every day, and so it is. And a reading from 365 Nirvana. Most of us think that awareness is a mysterious something to be practiced, and that we should get together day after day to talk about awareness. You don't come to awareness that way at all. But if you are aware of an outward thing, the curve of a road, the shape of a tree, the color of another's clothes, the outline of a mountain against the blue sky, the delicacy of a flower, the pain on the face of a passerby, the ignorance, the envy, the jealousy of others, the beauty of the earth, then seeing all these outward things without condemnation, without choice, you can ride the tide of inner awareness. Then you will come aware of your own reactions, of your own pettiness, of your own jealousies. From the outward awareness, you come to the inward. If you are not aware of the outer, you cannot possibly come to the inner. When there is inward awareness of every activity of your mind and your body, when you are aware of your thoughts, of your feelings, both secret and open, conscious and unconscious, then out of this awareness, there comes a clarity that is not induced nor put together by the mind. And without that clarity, you may do what you will, you may search the heavens and the earth and the deeps, but you will never find out what is true.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Powerful.
Thank you.
Right. We have another song, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So, Susan, come on back.
Alrighty, I'm back. I think we ought to do a little happy birthday to Kathy in Minnesota.
We
What do you
did
say?
too.
Yeah.
Everybody join me here. And Kathy, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kathy, Minnesota. Happy birthday to you. Yay!
And many more.
Have and many more. All righty. So hope you have a great day, Kathy. And I'm going to do a song for you that I wrote. I think that's what's up. This is called God is in Everything. And everything.
Yeah.
Okay. It has a lot of words, so I'm going to do my best to enunciate them for you. All righty. God is in you, is in me, is in he, is in she, is in everybody we see. God is in you, is in me, is in he, is in she, is in everybody we see. No need to search every chapter and verse looking for some missing key. Just take a look in the mirror and you will see you are divinity. God is in rocks and in plants and in trees and in deserts and prairies and cool mountain streams. God is in rocks and in plants and in trees and in deserts and prairies and cool mountain streams. No need to search for some ancient shrine. You have only to open your mind. The Christ within me greets the Christ within you, and together our light will shine. No need to question that we are expressions of all that is sacred and good. When we let go and let God, we will see everything unfold as it should. God is in sisters and brothers and mothers and babies and elders and sinners and saints. God is in sisters and brothers and mothers and babies and elders and sinners and saints. No need to look for some numerical code to unravel the mystery. Just take the time to quiet your mind, and the truth will set you free. No need to question your path, it's perfection that leads to the vision you hold. Open your heart and let Spirit decide when you reach each new fork in the road. God is in you, is in me, is in he, is in she, is in rocks and in plants and in trees, and deserts and prairies and cool mountain streams, sisters and brothers and elders and saints and sinners. It's in everything. God is in everything. God is in everything. God is in every little living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
That sounds like a song from a musical.
Da 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 da. I'm ready. Let's take it on the road.
Yeah, let's write a musical and do it.
Thank you.
Do a show.
Thanks.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
That's really
Okay,
fun.
we're going to do our thing now,
We are.
and we'll be back to you later.
Looking forward to hearing you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we are.
Here we are. Another Sunday.
Are you talking?
Well, I thought you were starting.
Oh, I'm starting this week? Okay. Well, so when Michael first got this title, the things that first came to me were, who am I? I have a body. I have a name. I have a place I live. I have places that I work. Places, not just one, places.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
relationships and responsibilities. And I am very attached to those things. I'm attached to this body. I'm attached to my name. I'm attached to my relationships. I am. So I started thinking about, so we're eternal beings. And this is just one of the times that I'm going to be present in this body. And so I've probably been lots of different names, with lots of different personalities, and maybe not, maybe it's the same personality all the time. I've probably looked differently. I may have had, some people talk about us traveling in soul groups. And so we actually do, even though we may not recognize them at the time, we actually do travel with people. But I have to say, I don't know any of that. I don't know anything. I absolutely know that we're one with all that is, that we're one with God, that everything is one with the one, and that when we leave this body, there's another experience. What it is, I don't know. And so it's been a really interesting week to focus on my attachment to this particular name and this particular form and this particular idea of me, and think about what it would be like to be a different particular form and a different version of me. And it's been a little bit mind stretching to think about it, because I just really identify with my name. I always have. My mother named me Valerie because she heard it on the radio and she liked it. So it's not like a family name. It's not like, anything that's been handed down or anything like that. It's just, but throughout most of my life, it's been a very unique name. And so I think that's one of the reasons that I like it. And recently I've met a lot of Valeries, which is very interesting, because for most of my life, I was like the only one. And so
You still are to me.
thank you. So I've been thinking about things. Well, what will I be in between? What will I be next? In one of the many, many things that I read about a time where when a person left this body, they just kind of floated up into this big circle, and then they just became one with the circle, and the individuality completely disappeared. And at the time, I thought that was pretty cool. As I've gotten older, it's like, wait a minute.
What about me?
Yeah. So what I'm going to say, well, and then also, then there are those of us who have guides, and those of us who have the people that channel through us, the beings that channel through us, and do we give them names? Do they give themselves names? What I know is I don't know. And do we really go through a tunnel of light? It seems like we do, because a lot of the people who have had the near-death experience and come back speak about that. And they speak about the people that they recognize that love them and that they love being there to greet them. Mm-hmm. So that makes me think, well, so in some way we still do have an individual form and an individual something. Mm-hmm. But who knows?
I have a friend who's no longer in this experience, this plane, Nirvana, a very dear friend of mine, whose daughter announced both to him and to the mother what her name was before she was born. She came into dreams and said, "This is my name," and told the name to both the mother and father on separate occasions. So who knows? It's just so much to take in and to let it, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of percolate inside you and come up with what you believe.
Right. Well, I think it gives us an opportunity to expand our awareness of who we think we are, how we think we are, what we think we are, and just become more. So do you want to talk, because I have some other stuff I want to say, but it's a totally different subject. Do you want to talk about some of the things you want to say before I go into that?
I was just thinking that we're in this physical body.
Right.
And that's how we're having this experience in the physical body. But there's more to us, because we experience our livingness through different bodies. Like there's the personality body, there's the emotional body, and there's the spiritual body. Mm-hmm. And we get to move around in all of them, sometimes experiencing them all at one time. And I'll talk about that a little later after you talk. But I just want to say that we create bodies for ourselves, because when you think about it, I have a body that is called a minister. I have a body called a father. I have a body called a brother, a sister, a husband, a grandfather, a poet, a writer. So many bodies that I get to experience at different points in time. Like I can experience being a poet and being a husband at the same time by reading a poem to my wife, and those are different forms that express through us. So knowing that I'm all these forms, I can always say, I am what God is. I am perfect, whole, complete. I am the Alpha and Omega. I am the microcosm of the macrocosm. So therefore, I am the macrocosm. I am more than that. I am the I am. And the I am is God. And God is always with me eternally. And I get to celebrate that. I get to be, like the reading said, aware of all those different forms that I experience as me. And even beyond that, I may be inform many different beings from the past. They may all be existing at me at one time. That's a lot to think about. And it's a lot to think about that I am one with everything, one with God. And that means what? What does that mean to you? How can it change your life? How can it make you more who you are? How can you embrace it more in your everyday life? Those are good questions to ask.
They are.
I'm going to get back to you.
Okay, so every week I let myself just go through all of my books and just touch them until I find the one that I'm called to do this week. And this one is, I love this one, The Biology of Transcendence, A Blueprint of the Human Spirit by Joseph Chilton Pearce. We met him, I think, in Chicago, but I can't remember exactly when. And I was just totally, everything he said just resonated so strongly. So what I was reading about yesterday, one of the things, he's talking about the electromagnetic, he's talking about the intelligence of the heart, and how the heart actually has a lot to do with how the brain works. The intelligence of the heart is a lot more than we think. But he's also talking about the electromagnetic field of the heart and how it reaches out 12 to 15 feet beyond us, and how it runs through this pole that he calls toric, I think. So it's like this big circle of energy running up this pole and going out, and then everything has that energy. So he's talking about we're all connected to that same energy. So from the atom to the being to the planet to the solar system, we're all one thing. So that's exactly what we teach, that we're all one thing. But when you think about that in terms of scientific proof that we're all one thing, we're all doing the same thing, we're all radiating the same electromagnetic energy, and then there's not any separation between any of us because we're all it.
It's like a car. Everything in that car, the spark plugs, the doors, the hood, the generator. Is there a generator in a car?
I don't know if there is anymore or not.
The alternator, yeah. All those things, the computer, they're all seem separate, but yet they're just this one thing. And it's the same with us. We sometimes feel separate from everything else, but we're just one with the one. And if you take that and run around your mind for a while, it'll be interesting to see what you come up with, because none of us know. We don't know. But we can intuit, and we can feel, and we can experience, and we can have these everyday life experiences that says, this is who I am, and I am more than this. This is who I am, but I'm always more than this. I am more than I can possibly comprehend. And again, that's a mind-boggling piece of information.
And there's that knowing of things that, how could we know?
Yes.
You know, there's always that how can I know this, but I do. Or you were telling me the other day, it's like, so I have this one email account that I just give out every time I have to put an email address in, and I don't even know how it got on the state of Colorado, because I am sure that I used our CSL Metro site. But I'm going through it going, there might be something in here I need to check on. There's an email from the state saying, today is the day I have to renew or whatever thing it is, license or something, or I'm going to get a penalty. And it's like, how did I think to do that today? Well, I just know it's divine guidance that those little hunches and those little, oh, you should do this today, or oh, you should do that today, or turn right or turn left, or don't go here right now, or on and on and on and on and on. That intuition that just is constantly talking to us when we're listening.
Yeah.
It's all one thing, and we're all one thing, and it is mind-boggling.
And it's also fun to play with it.
Yeah.
Because when you play with it, when you treat it as something not so serious, like so many religions are so serious about their dogma and they just dish out this stuff and expect you to be it.
And you're going to hell.
Yeah.
If you do this.
And when you think about our teaching and how open it is for interpretation and expansive thinking, and even getting together and talking these things with other people and hearing their points of view. And it's all possible. Everything is possible in God. Everything is possible. So I want to talk a little bit about the emotional, the personality body, and the spiritual body in terms of the physical body. Many moons ago, when I was at Agape, I had a young woman who I knew before she came to Agape. She was a daughter of a friend of my mother's. And she was a very shy, solo person. She stayed with herself a lot, and she didn't have many friends. And we started working together as in a practitioner relationship. And her father was a multi-billionaire, and he passed away and left her oogles and oogles and oogles of money, and trusts and stuff that would just pay her all this money. And she had no worries in the money. In the physical body, she had no worries about money. But in the emotional body, she had bought a house, and it was a mansion. It was like, I don't know, 10,000 square feet. And it was in Los Angeles, so you can imagine how much it cost. And she bought this house, and it was beautiful outside. So she invited me over to do a practice. We usually did our practice sessions at the church, but she invited me over to her house, to see her house, to do a practice session, which is a big step for her because she didn't like having anybody at her house. So I go over there, and I'm looking at this beautiful house and everything, and I step in the door, and it's like stepping into another world. It's like, wait a minute, I just saw this house on the outside. Why doesn't it look similar, beautiful on the inside? It was like a homeless person was living there. All this beat up furniture. They weren't antiques. They were beat up furniture and lacking. A lot of the rooms had nothing in it. A mattress on the floor, and I was like, "What? Why are you living this way?" And she said, "Well, she bought this house, and it cost all this money, and she was afraid if she bought anything else, she would lose all her money. And I don't know where she got this consciousness." So physically, she was rich. Her emotional body was lack and limitation and fear. She wasn't just fearful of losing her money. She was fearful of everything. She was just a scared young child. And so we had sessions, and the personality body of her, there was a little fighter in her, and she was very intelligent. And this little fighter in her decided that she was going to take classes. And I just was so happy for her because I thought that was the best thing she could ever do. So she started taking classes. She kept going from class to class to class. And ultimately, she became a practitioner. And the personality of her, the fighter in her that recognized that she was in this fear, and she was fearful of everything, and she wanted to change it, gave into the spiritual, which started taking classes, which when any of us read books or take workshops or go to classes
To have practitioner sessions.
Yeah.
Or all of the above.
To enhance your spiritual growth.
Yeah.
That's the best gift you can get. And so it's interesting that she was having all four of those bodies unfolding at the same time: the spiritual, the emotional, the physical, and the personality. So if you look at yourself and say, where are there places within me that this can show up, where I'm experiencing two realms at the same, two forms at the same time, maybe a personality and a physical. Maybe the two aren't blending together. And what can I do to change it? How can I change it?
So, in the biology of transcendence, Joseph Chilton Pierce talks about the three parts of the brain, that old brain that sometimes they call the reptilian brain, and then so there's an emotional brain. What else is it? It's an emotional brain, and action brain, and an intelligent brain. So when you're thinking thoughts and doing things, all three of those parts of the brain can be working together, or they can be pushing you in separate directions.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can be fighting with each other. And so that causes a really lot of confusion and a lot of things. The other thing that he talks about is that when you're in a place of fear, it's that action brain that's at work. It's that old brain that's at work. And he also talks about even when you have facts, even when you have conditions, even when you have things, once that brain has locked in on a thought or a thing or an action, it is almost impossible for a person to change their mind.
Yeah.
And so it makes me understand a lot more some of the things where I say about what's going on. How could a person actually believe that? And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking, oh, so they've locked into that old scared part of the brain, and they're moving in an action that they believe is going to make them safe, or whatever it is that they want, and the other parts of the brain aren't involved anymore.
Yep.
And it helps me really understand that it's important for us to, I think it helps us understand sometimes why people are where they are and what they're doing. Maybe we can be, a little, I can maybe be a little less judgmental than sometimes I find myself. And it helps me understand, I have those times when I feel a little overwhelmed. I'm sitting at my computer and I have all this stuff to do, and I recognize I can't think because I have all this stuff going on, and I'm not able to process the way I need to be processing to get the thing done I need to do. I do recognize that now, and I get up, I move away from the computer, and I go do something else to allow all of that stuff to settle down so that I can actually think again and figure out, okay, this thing, this thing, this thing. But when I'm in that overwhelm, I can't do anything. I can sit there and pretend like I'm doing something, and if I try to do it anyway, I usually make mistakes and have to do it over.
And you become reactionary. We become reactionary. You're in that part of your brain that isn't thinking things through. It's just reacting to what's going on, and usually it's very emotional.
Yeah.
And it can,
but it's also I gotta do.
Yeah.
Or be, or yeah.
It can change things. We've been experiencing a lot of that in our lives now. It's funny because we've talked about my 94-year-old mother being with us, and it gets to be challenging sometimes because sometimes it's so emotionally draining that I guess the brain goes to protect myself. I'll speak for me, and I can get a little harsh, and then I feel guilty because I got harsh, and then I go through all these stages, and what I got to do is just get away and like Reverend Valerie said, center myself and get back to me, the larger me, not the reactionary me. And it's only human. We're all having this human experience, and we have to give ourselves credit for going through and getting through whatever situation we're going through, or whatever. I get a little emotional talking about my mother, so I apologize. I'll let you.
Well, I was thinking that. So I have a very busy mind, and so I'm beginning to really understand that those thoughts that I have, I don't need to believe those thoughts.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking these thoughts constantly, you know, like I don't like this and I don't want to do this and blah 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 blah. I don't need to attach to them. I don't need to believe them. I don't need to act on them. I just need to let them do their thing and go wherever they go without attaching to them or without thinking, oh, wow, this is the truth, because nothing's really the whole truth ever.
No.
And whatever the situation is, this too shall pass. You know, it's like this is one moment in one day, and in another moment it'll be another thing, and just kind of like, oh, so I can't remember his name, was talking about that song about flowing gently down the river.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, it doesn't say row hard up the river. It doesn't say if it's not hard, it's not worth it. I was taught that. I'm sure a lot of us were taught that. Hard work and effort and doing and
keep your nose to the grindstone.
Yeah, keep your nose to the grindstone.
Which would hurt.
It does hurt.
Don't want to think about it.
Working 80, 90 hours a week, all of those things, and I can look back on them and go, wow, you know, those were the things that I believed at the time, and I know better now. And so I think what happens when we continue to practice these principles and when we continue to learn is, yes, we still have those thoughts. Yes, we still have those feelings, and we're able to use the tools that we teach and the practices that we have to move through it more quickly. And we're lucky that we have each other, and one of us can go, would you pray?
Yeah, knowing the work that we've both done individually on ourselves and the work we've done being partners in life, it really makes a difference. So going back to that moment I had just a little bit ago, it reminded me of something you said about the heart having its own brain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes the heart's brain can take over, and the logical brain can kind of disappear for a while, because when the heart is touched, which for me, going through this with my mom is a heart-touching thing,
Mm-hmm.
that it can just switch my brain off sometimes, and my heart just becomes overwhelmed with memories, with different forms of life that I went through with her, and it's all good. So when I gave it up and gave it over to Reverend Valerie, that was me taking off and centering myself and allowing the connection to get back together, and to know that life is life, and we're all individually on our own journey.
Mm-hmm.
And the journey is beautiful, and there's no bad part about it. There's no mystery to it. Well, there is a mystery to it, but it's about the different forms that we were before we came here, that we are now, and the forms that we will become someday when we check off this planet.
Yeah, and there's no God outside of us judging us.
Right.
You know, we're here to experience and learn and grow, and I think sometimes we get stuck in the judgment of ourselves because that's what we were taught, and that's not really what we're here to do. We're here to learn and grow and be and expand and love ourselves as well as loving other people. And when we spend that time judging ourselves or thinking, I should have been here, or I should have been this, or I should have done that, we're not allowing ourselves to be the being we came here to be, to do the learning and the growing and the making mistakes. And because when we're being perfect, what do we really learn? You know, a lot of times it's in the mistake.
Yes.
Where the aha comes. It's in the doubting or the questioning or the wondering where the aha comes. It's in the being still when I don't know what to do, and allowing the the wisdom to just come, and then I can go, oh, of course, that's what I'm supposed to do next. But when I'm doing the thinking and the action and in the brain part of me, I guess it's like opening the heart and letting the heart understand what it is we came here to do, and allow that intelligence of that heart to show us, oh, it's about this. Oh, it's about that. It's not about checking all the boxes. It's not about doing all the things. All of those things are good and fine, and we're more than that.
And getting back to that feeling guilty or judging ourselves and all that stuff, that is another form to who and what we are. It is another form that we can use to our own benefit, because when you become aware, when you center yourself and become aware of whatever it is that's going through you, like say guilt. When you become aware of the guilt can reveal to you something about yourself, and you can make the conscious choice to change that.
Yeah.
To be the opposite.
Yeah.
In any given moment, and you can do it instantly. It can be done instantly. It doesn't have to take hours and hours of therapy or mental processes. You can just say, I recognize this guilt I'm feeling. It's not real. This is what I know about myself. This is what I claim to be true about myself. And in that instant, things can shift. And sometimes it does take time.
And that's okay too.
And that's okay too, because you're experiencing all these different forms in your life, and all the other forms that are having, like I have this form here that I get to experience through life. So we're individually having our own experiences, simultaneously having an experience of being partners. It's a complicated being that we are. We are just magnificent. Every aspect of who and what we are is so magnificent. When I see our grandkids and see how individually they're all so different, and they're all so beautiful, and they all have all this potential and possibilities that lie before them. And
they're also smart.
Yes.
And I think more aware.
Than we were at that age.
Yeah,
Definitely more. For me, we were more aware than I was at that age. But it's all good. And we just get to celebrate it, celebrate life, celebrate each other, celebrate our awareness of God and how it reveals to us everything we need in any given moment. It's just a wonderful thing. I can't say enough how thankful I am to have had this life that I've had. All the mistakes, all the ups, all the downs. It's just a wonderful thing. And there's so much more to experience. And we get to do that.
We do.
We get to choose to do it the way we want to do it. And it's all good.
We get to start over every time we need to, and it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all okay.
Should we pray?
Let's pray.
Okay. Let's just close our eyes. And take a deep breath in. And just release it. And as we recognize that divine intelligence that we call God is all that there is everything and everyone and everywhere. It is beating our heart.
Mm-hmm.
It is that heart intelligence. It is that connecting intelligence that creates the oneness of all of us having the experience of being individual and one with all that is, one with everything on this planet, one with everything in the galaxy, one with all of the countless galaxies going out into infinity, one with time, one with every experience, one with life. And so I'm absolutely grateful to know this oneness for myself, for Reverend Michael, for everyone that's involved in this service today, and everyone listening and hearing, and everyone everywhere. There is no separation. There's just this one absolute, amazing, wonderful, incredulous planet and life that we're living on that is infinite, that our opportunities are infinite. And so I know for us, love and peace and truth and harmony and joy and abundance and prosperity and opportunities and compassion and understanding with ourselves and with others, and just being that open space and that open awareness that we are being absolutely divinely guided and able and willing to listen to that intelligence as it pulls us forward into that which we came here to be in, and creating that moreness and that expansiveness that allows us to continue to grow and expand and become more. And so in absolute gratitude for knowing that this is the truth of each one of our beings and all of our beings and everything together, I am just so grateful to know that this word is complete in the mind of God, and so grateful to pass this word to Reverend Michael.
Thank you. And I invite you in this moment to think of a desire, whatever comes to your mind first. Think of that desire. And together, we embrace each other, knowing that whatever that desire is, it's now a real thing. It's now manifesting in your life. It's now coming to life and taking form, another form that you get to enjoy in your life. And as we do that for ourselves, I call upon you to join me in this desire for peace on this planet, for absolute peace in every corner, every living being experiencing this peace, getting past conflict and worry and fear, and embracing our humanity, knowing that we can all together move beyond this. So I ask you to join me by sending out light across the planet and seeing it touching many people and healing people and embracing many people and enhancing their lives. Join me as we do this together and make it all possible.
Yes.
And so I bless each and every individual who's tuned in today. So very grateful for who and what you are. So very grateful for your life as the life of God. I send out light and love to each one. And those who may be watching it later on a recording, I hold that for you also. And together, let us join in that one power and one presence and know that everything is in divine order.
Yes.
And so, with a grateful heart, I now release this word into the law, into the love. Before I do that, I want to send out light and love to all those who have asked us for prayer.
Yes.
Do you know anybody special, Valerie?
We could talk about Kim and Mike and the health challenges that Mike is going through, and know for him the absolute healing of his body temple, and knowing that all the doctors and everyone caring for him is absolutely divinely guided and surrounding him and Mike in absolute divine light and divine love and divine healing, and just cradling them in love as they go through this experience, and grateful for Kim's family, who has been such a big help to her as she goes through this time. So grateful.
Yes.
And for anybody else going through something, we speak this word for you as well.
Yes. And so is with a grateful heart, in the depth of my being, so very thankful for God, for life, and for this word being complete and fulfilled in its entirety. I can now release it into the law, into the love, simply saying, and so it is.
So it is. Amen. Ashe. Amen. There's another one I forgot. And
oh, we got some music.
we do.
So I'm going to invite Susan back. Hi, Susan.
Hi. Thank you so much. I feel prayed up.
Very good.
I feel blessed. And I have to tell you, I love your woo-hoo, Valerie. So I picked out a song by Daniel Nahmod, and this is called One Power.
Oh, yeah.
And I will just have to say that he's one of my favorite writers.
Oh.
And this is not an easy song.
No.
But I think the message is loud and clear. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I know we will.
Power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. We'll remember once we close our eyes to see. With such distances they're never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love that's in you and me. One power, one power. One power. It's the freedom of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby, the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandoned for a love that's all so deep. It's one power, one power, one power in us all. It's the power of the love that's always in you and me. One power, one power, one power.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yay.
You're welcome. Great song, isn't it? Thank you, Daniel Nahmod, for giving us such a beautiful piece of music.
And thank you, Susan Clark, for expressing it so beautifully. You have an amazing voice. I knew that from the first time I met you, but I really appreciated it today.
That was like an exclamation mark on the end of our talk.
Well, I'm so happy to be that exclamation mark, and I'm always happy to use my voice and my gift of song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome.
Okay, we got a couple of things to do, and then we'll get back to you for our last song.
So it's our giving time.
It is. Do I say something?
Yes.
So we invite you to check in with your heart.
You can see my pens in there.
I see feathers too.
I know those are sacred feathers.
This basket represents the gifts coming from all points of the world. It can come from anywhere, and we're thankful for that. So check
This
in.
basket came from Africa.
Yeah, it's true. So we accept gifts from Africa,
Yeah.
Europe, Asia. It doesn't make any difference. Just check in with your heart. See if you got something from today's talk, and if you want to support us, we'd appreciate it. We'd appreciate your gifts, and we will stay in prayer for your abundance and prosperity, knowing that we're all here to enjoy life to the fullness.
So the Venmo code will be coming up soon. So if you use Venmo, that you can use your QR code and do that. You can also go to cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple of ways to give there. We also take checks, and occasionally people drop cash by the house. We take all of that, and we're just so grateful for your support and grateful for all of those of you who continue to support us financially to allow us to do what we do and to be the community that we are. And we're so grateful.
Yes, we are.
So, yes.
Is that it?
Yep. So we bless it.
Yeah.
So all the gifts are in there.
Yes. And we simply give thanks in this moment. So repeat after me. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
We give these gifts freely
We give these gifts freely
from the bottom of our hearts,
from the bottom of our hearts,
knowing they go out and do great work
knowing they go out and do great work
and come back multiplied.
and come back multiplied.
For this and so much
For
more,
this and so much more.
we say thank you, thank you, thank you.
We say thank you, thank you, thank
And
you.
let it be.
And let it be.
And so it is.
So it is. And woohoo!
Woohoo!
Okay.
Now we've got a lot of people doing that now.
Oh, so I have a really close friend who says she even has the black people doing that now. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay. Susan, come back to us. Oh, there you are.
I'm coming back.
Welcome back there.
Rev Valerie, I heard you talking about sacred feathers, I think.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to show you mine. One of my spirit animals is a blue jay. And these are my sacred feathers that are in my sacred bowl that was given to me by a friend. And so I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, blue jays are pretty talkative up here in the
Yes,
mountains.
they are.
Big scrub jays, and I always just love it when they come down to talk to me. So
We were in Grand Junction up at the monument, and we had one actually land on the table and go into the chip bag.
yes, they're not shy birds, are they? They always have something to say, which is actually kind of the person I've grown into. Wasn't always this way, but now I always seem to have something to share.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
I'm gonna take us out with a song by such a powerful person in the New Thought music world, Eddie Watkins Jr. And this is one of his songs called "There's Only One Life, One Life."
I love that.
Thank you so much for having me, and it's such a beautiful day here. A little windy, but I'm loving every minute of it. So here's a little Eddie Watkins to take you out. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one holy substance flowing in and throughout creation. And right here in this very moment, we are an expression. We are a beloved expression, born of perfection. Let's raise our hands and celebrate, because we know there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. There is only one holy substance flowing in and throughout creation. And right here in this very moment, you are an expression. You are a beloved expression, born of perfection. So raise your hands and celebrate, because you know there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is your life now. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. One, 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 one. One, 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 one. One, 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 one life underneath the moon and the stars and the sun. One, 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 one life. One, 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 one love. One presence in us all. My life is God's life, and that life is perfectly unfolding just as it should. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life. That life is our life now. There's only one life.
Yes. Uno.
So Susan, if people want to buy your music, how do they do that?
Well, I always have to laugh when you say that, Valerie. You could just call me up. Give me a call. Look me up on Facebook, and I'm on Facebook Messenger, and you can find all the different ways to contact me. And you can also find me on cdbaby.com if you still like to have the old-fashioned CDs or downloads, either one. So it's all good. I appreciate all the support. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We appreciate you a lot.
Too.
All right.
You gonna benedict us?
Well, no.
I don't know. Does everybody come back and then we benedict, or do they benedict? No, we're gonna benedicting first.
Okay. Yeah, you do
Our
it.
producer said, no, you do it.
No. Eggs Benedict. I say eggs
That's
Benedict.
right.
That's after the benediction.
That's after the benediction, yes.
Yeah. Okay, close your eyes and just joyfully join me in knowing that everything's in perfect order. Your life is unfolding. My life is unfolding in its perfection. God is at hand all the time. God is here and now, guiding us, directing us, uplifting us, inspiring us. I accept this for each and every one that is in the sound of my voice, knowing that it's all done, it's all good, it's all God, all the time. And for this, I give thanks and simply let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
So it is. So it is.
Hey.
Except Stephanie had to go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for the message.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
great.
you, Greg and Sheila. Thank you for your unending good that you do for the center.
And for us personally.
We so appreciate you both. And for Susan, for always being magnificent in your music and your awareness and your consciousness. We love you.
I remember that first day we met you at CSL Denver, and I'm like, oh, I love her. So I'm glad we've been able to stay in touch.
Yeah.
So have a wonderful week, everybody, and tune in next week. Invite some friends to join us, and
join us on Zoom. We'll have share your ahas and get together, and it's our version of what we used to do over the table, having snacks. So we have our own snacks and have some conversation afterwards. So the Zoom link's in the comments, and all right. So we'll see you in the Zoom.
Hey,
have a wonderful
Beautiful music, beautiful message.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. We're heading off to our tennis game. See you
Okay,
later.
you have fun.
beautiful day for it.
It is.
Mhm.
Okay, bye.